Hi, Anoop. I have a couple of questions with me. This is Irfan.
Irfan.
Hi.
Yeah.
So, first thing that I was expecting to add into a testing group because I come from a testing background.
Mm-hmm.
So, I clicked that emoji on that accord, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
Discord.
I will look into that. So
Okay.
I don't know why it's not working. I'll have a look. Yeah.
And
Hi.
second thing,
Hi, sorry, I got disconnected. Can you hear me now, Anu?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes, Raghu. We can.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
so the second.
continue. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the second thing that I would like to have your opinion because I'm not from the IT background. I have completed my bachelor in commerce. Although I am working in a IT sector from last 4 years in automation testing. So does it make any difference while hunting a job?
Yeah. So I think we have our expert Pradyumna here. He can ask. He can answer your question.
Hi,
Uh,
Pradyuman.
Hi, Irfan. Hi, hello everyone. Hi, Anup.
hi,
How are you
hi.
doing?
Yeah. We all are doing good.
Yeah, just,
I'm not sure if you heard the question. Do you want it to be repeated?
yeah, I just joined. Can you please repeat the
Okay,
question?
yeah, sure, yeah, sure. So I come from a commerce background, and currently I'm working as an automation tester in Optum from last 4 years. So does it make any difference for a job search? Will I get a proper response or not?
No. As per the new immigration law that was implemented in 2020,
Huh?
irrespective of your degree, I mean, it doesn't matter what you study. You just need
Mm-hmm,
to have education,
mm-hmm.
and post that you should have some relevant experience
Okay.
and where you want to work here in Germany. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And I believe 4 years is a very good experience that you have, and you have good opportunities here as well.
I have been trying from last 1 year, not very frequently, but like 50 jobs in a month. But I haven't got any positive response. Like last year, I got one positive response. There was a company for which says I think it was ThinkCell, but they were in their online assessment they had a different technology altogether, so I couldn't complete that.
Okay, okay. So probably what I can say now is choose the right direction and choose. I mean, just go through a job description before you apply, so that you don't get demotivated while you see some rejected responses from the employers. Let's say if
Mhm,
they have given you some, I mean, they expect you to have some Java, JavaScript, and
mhm,
also some other languages, Python,
mhm,
something like that.
mhm,
But you only have Java, so
mhm.
it's better not to apply and see the rejection. Just try to apply for the jobs which you exactly fit in,
Oh,
and when just choosing the right direction.
okay, thank you. And Pradyuman and Raghu, I need a favor from you guys. I'll be sending my CV on Discord to you guys, and could you please review my CV and cover letter because I'm not getting any positive response since I made that European format CV, and you could give me your input so that I can edit accordingly. Thank you.
Sure, sir, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, Anu.
Yeah. Sure. Any further questions, guys? You can just go ahead.
So I'm Kasturi here, and I had been talking to Raghu, and I even heard his, first interview, and he mentioned that, try and apply for jobs which doesn't require English. So I wanted to know how does he sort it out? Because I tried sorting it out, and most of the jobs definitely say that they need German, but is there any way that we can sort out that this is not means they're not demanding German here, they are just demanding English, and that's fine because I'm also into IT. I'm an SAP FI consultant.
Mhm.
Yeah, hi, Kasturi. So
So
I don't think there is any filtering criteria that you can apply, at least in the job search portals that I know. Neither in Glassdoor or LinkedIn, you cannot specifically say I'm only looking for English speaking jobs or German speaking jobs or whatever it is. So you just have to go through the job description, and of course, in majority of the jobs towards the end, they will mention they need fluent English or fluent German, or sometimes they don't specify at all, and sometimes they just specify just English. So I had to look at everything in detail towards the end. They would usually mention it. So yeah, there is no filtering criteria that you can apply in advance and such.
Yeah, I also did that. As in, I had to go through
Yeah.
all of it to see if they
Yeah.
need. So what I wanted to also know is, I have a family friend. They are German, and they live there. And can they be of any help? As in, I haven't approached them, but they are very close. As in, I haven't told them, but they are very close, and they are Germans. So can we have any plus of having them there? Is there any plus?
No, not to my knowledge. The based on your employment, the only way you can get into Germany is through job seekers visa or through an employment visa. Of course, job seekers visa is closed at the moment, so your best shot at the moment is to look out for employment in Germany by being go through the visa process. But yeah, if you have even if you have your family or any of your blood relation, I don't think there is something like sponsorship or anything that will work out. I think the best case scenario is they can refer you to some company that they can do in their circle. That's the best thing. I would say.
Raghu, what is your opinion with the current situation, as these visas are job seeker visa is already on hold? They're not giving anyone. But the
Yeah.
response that we get on LinkedIn or through any other website, is it because we are seeing a lot of rejections emails? We have applied to a lot of jobs that are matching the profile, but we are
Yeah.
getting rejections. Pandemic can be one reason why right now we are not getting much of a positive response from the company.
Yes. Yeah, it's that. Sorry, before it's Deepak, right? Asking the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Deepak, just a minute. I'll just go back to Kasturi and then clarify your question. Kasturi, does it answer your question?
Yes, yes. I am Deepak's wife. We are together.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. Okay, thanks for clarifying. So yeah, Deepak, in my opinion, yeah, it's definitely pandemic, because I think someone pasted a screenshot in our group or somewhere I've seen clearly the recruiter has said that due to the pandemic and the slow processing of visas, we cannot consider your app. The reasons that they have
Because
cited.
I was also thinking the same, because of the this can be one reason why we are not seeing a lot of positive response from the German side, because you are not really sure from India for how, because right now in the world it is India is at number one position, which is saying that we have the maximum number of cases.
Yeah.
So whatever India is showing and all that, we have impact on the, and they, even if they hire you, they are not really, that means they're blocking that position for next 3-4 months, and then you don't know how the condition will be. So that also can be one reason why we are not seeing a positive response from their end.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is much worse compared to our first wave, because I got the job offer during the first wave, and I was also in a similar situation, whether because at the moment I had job offer last year, no visas, employment visas were being processed. It was the same situation, but the cases were not so worse as they are right now. So I had also thought about this, and I thought, would company wait for me like 4 months, 5 months? I don't know. So it so happened that in a month's time of 1.5 month of me receiving a job contract, things opened up, and I started visa process. So yeah, at the moment I think they would not most likely be inclined to wait for a longer time, because of course the cases are going down in India, and definitely because of more vaccines things will improve, but it's hard to say at the moment until what point everyone will be comfortable and say, okay, now the visas have started, we can start hiring you. So it's very difficult to say. But in my opinion, you should nevertheless, give it a shot. But personally, if you feel otherwise, then it's okay. But in my opinion, you should just continue. You never know; someone might be willing to wait 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the reason. But then you feel demotivated also, right? So I was thinking
Yeah.
this can be because of which we are not getting positive response as of now, but maybe
Yeah.
2-3 months down the line we might start seeing interview calls or some at least something which is motivating or some positive response from there.
Yes, yeah. If you look at it from that point of view, there's a definitely significant influence of this pandemic on the overall, probability of someone even getting a job interview or an interview call. So if you want to just pause it for a moment and then pick it up when things improve, I think it's still fine because the world is not ending. It's definitely going to open up shortly.
So
Thanks, Ravi.
to
No problem.
talk another perspective to what Deepak has asked, so initially I'll tell I can share my experience. Initially, when I was through JSV to Germany in February, I started applying for the jobs probably by end of February. I applied, though I was in Germany, I applied around 150, 200 jobs, wherein I got only few positive responses. So you have to beat the application tracking system. See, all of your resume or CV will not reach directly to the hiring manager or the recruiters. That will definitely have some application tracking system, which may be conducted by robots, and that you should have some unique selling point in your resume. See, hiring a non-EU national is a bureaucracy, because they will definitely have to prefer someone who is in Europe or in Germany, and then if they don't find in EU, then they have to go look for other nationalities. And then this is where you have to stand on your legs and show what is your unique selling point, and you have to be quite unique than many other people here. So that's one point you have to consider it, Deepak.
So
Okay.
I think to beat the application tracking system, I think it's more of our resume should specifically carry those words or skills that are already mentioned in the job description. I think it is the same way that we do here in India, Naukri and all those places. They also are using the same thing. I think that is one thing, but yes, I agree that we have to have something which can be a strong selling point for us.
So basically, in resume or in cover letter, you should specify that your skills, or your skills should be influential, so that they have to convince, and that you are the person who can give them what they want actually. Yeah. So they look for that unique skill in it. Whether are you capable of delivering what they generally expect?
Okay. I hope this answers your question, Deepak. I think we have to move on to the next question. So this is from, I think, Amol. Amol wants to ask something. I saw a raised hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I have, maybe you can answer Anup or Pradnyavan or Raghu, whoever. So my question is specific to when we apply the jobs through LinkedIn, right? So we have, as you already mentioned, we can mention a keyword like visa or relocation. So my question was, if the job description does not include these visa and relocation keyword, so is it worth to spend time and apply if the JD is matching your skill set? So that was this is my first question.
Okay, so maybe I can just try to answer this. So I think most of the companies do not include these keywords because those things may be not in their mind while they are putting up the job description, but maybe they are also open to hire people from outside of EU. So I don't know if it takes a lot of time to apply to the jobs that matches your skill set but doesn't have the keyword. For example, we hire from an external country. So maybe it's easier to just apply to those companies as well and see what their response is, instead of just ignoring those instead of ignoring those jobs which does not have these keywords. So maybe someone else can also add to it. Pradyumna, what do you say about this? Because I'm not
So,
sure.
so see, irrespective of if they sponsor or not,
Yeah.
if you have a work contract, it's all done, because getting an employment visa is very easy in India. You don't have to spend so much of amount. You just have to go through the process, which is very simple, and just wait for a given amount of time by the consulate, and then book the tickets. That's all. You doesn't have to face much difficulties when you have the contract from any German employer.
So, Anup,
Does that,
just to add to the question, whenever most of the sites when we go and apply, they ask us, are we uh, legally
Yeah.
allowed to work in Germany? So
Yeah.
what does that mean? Do I have a job seeker visa and then I am applying? Or basis my documents, I can expect that I should not face any problem. I do not have any criminal record. So I can go and say, yes, I am legally allowed to work in Germany.
yeah, that says you should have some work permit or some residence permit in Germany or in EU, so that you can work. You can start working.
So if you
Okay,
are
so
in
that
India, then we
first,
have to take, we are not eligible, right? In that case, Pradyumna?
Yes, Anu.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
and
correct.
then there is second part to it. Do you need visa assistance or something that they also ask? That means, I think to move, I am not really sure, because that is not very clear there whether they're talking about employment visa or they expect me to go and apply for a visa on my expenses and move to Germany. It's like reallocation expenses.
I mean, obviously, when you're applying from India, you should need some visa assistance, right?
Hmm.
So then
No,
you would
I think it sounds more like, if I have to move, if I get the job, I can move on. The money that needs to be spent on visa, I can spend my money and then can come, rather than companies sponsoring my visa and asking me to come.
Yeah, I've also seen that checkbox which says that do you need visa assistance from us? Yeah, it's kind of not clear to me as well, because in Germany you don't need a special visa assistance because it's just the job contract and the ZAV, and then it's all what you have to do in India. So I'm also not sure about this.
Yeah, maybe simply put, I'll try to answer this in a simple way. The, the visa expense is merely nothing compared to most other countries. It's just 7,500 rupees per person. 7,000. That's all. That's all you're going to have to spend. But you need just one letter from the employer. The employer will have to, the letter is called ZAV. The employer will have to get it from a local government office. And if you have that letter, you can straight away apply for the visa by paying 6,500. You do not need any other fee or anything else. But when you talk about relocation as a whole, are you talking about flight costs? Are you talking about your movement of your personal stuff from India to Europe? This is something else.
So we usually go and we say that legally we do not have anything. Legally we do not have any visa to apply. But when it comes to visa assistance or something, there we are not really sure. Should we put yes or no for that?
So I would say just I mean if I were you, because I already know the process, I would be confident to put no there, because I know it's not complicated with someone who has already applied. Or let's say if you have a job offer today, you and I could spend 30 minutes to 1 hour and you just don't need any assistance. It's as simple as that. So if you are in that situation, put no, and if you finally have a job offer, contact me. I'm happy to help you. But yeah, if they are talking about relocation expenses and everything, that's a personal call between you and what you think is right. That you can negotiate. See, even if you say no at the beginning, and based on what you get, you can negotiate at the end. Not a big deal.
Yeah. I also think it's just fine to select no or uncheck the box. Yeah. Okay, so we have Ashish who wants to ask the next question.
Yeah. Hi all. Good morning. Good afternoon to everybody. So basically, are you able to hear me? First of all, I wanted
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So basically, what I wanted to ask you is that actually my case is like I am in Switzerland. Okay. And I already got a job in Germany, and I have already applied for the visa in the Bern embassy actually. So I am currently awaiting a response from the German embassy. But actually, I heard some news like that the person, if because I already lived in Germany for 2 years before coming to Switzerland, so the visa processing time, actually I'm not able to understand how much time they are going to take to give me a response of my application. And unfortunately, my visa for Switzerland is also going to be expired pretty soon. So I wanted to understand basically what is the process of a person who is applying and who has already lived in the country in Germany and is applying for the second time to come to Germany, basically.
Yeah. So have you already applied for the visa, Ashish?
Yes. I have already applied in April, and
Okay.
I'm awaiting a response. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember one case. So one of my friend was in Germany once, and he came back to India, and then he applied for the second time. And in that case, he was expecting it to be delayed by say a couple of weeks, but to his surprise, it was done in I think 2 weeks itself. So I don't think
Okay.
it matters much whether you were in Germany before, because the check is really fast. So they just have to check their records online. So it doesn't take a lot of time. Uh,
Okay.
that's my experience with one of my friend's friend, but I'm not sure if that's the same case everywhere. I mean, in Switzerland as well, but maybe you can check with someone who is locally there.
Yeah, because one of my friend also applied for the visa because he was going to for the first time to from Swiss to Germany for the employment, and
Okay.
he got the visa I think in 3 days. But I am awaiting since now 4 weeks the response from the embassy. So they are saying that they haven't got the response from the respective or Ausländer Behörde of the intended place of stay maybe. So that is what I was also not sure basically how much time I have to wait. And they on the email they told me that it can take up to 3 months.
So just asking you, are you going to a city like Munich or Berlin or something?
No, I am going to Nicosia basically.
Okay. What I've heard about Munich is they also take a lot of time to respond to emails because of a lot of maybe incoming emails to them. Yeah.
But actually, the catch is that because if they are checking something from because I lived in Munich for 2 years before I came to Switzerland. So I am not sure whether they are checking something from the Ausländer Behörde of Munich. That is also I'm not sure.
Yeah, that could be possible. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely, Ashish, considering the situation, definitely you can expect some delay especially from the Ausländer Behörde.
Yeah.
Because few of the close people for me, though they were in Germany, they applied for an extension of visa, and expected time is around only 6 weeks. But then it's been almost 8 weeks or 10 weeks, but they still didn't get their permit. I mean, they get some fiction Bescheinigung, but not the real residence permit. So depending on the Ausländer Behörde, it takes time, Ashish.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my question actually. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so we have question from Irfan now. Maybe Irfan, you can ask. then we will come to Amol again.
It's okay. One quick question. It's related to ZAV,
Yeah.
the document that you had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So suppose if one person gets selected, so what can he expect? Offer letter is the ZAV, right?
No,
No.
not exactly, Irfan. So
Okay.
ZAV is approval taken from a German labor immigration law. So
Oh.
they post your contract to the German labor.
Mm-hmm.
They take their approval saying that no, we did not find a candidate in EU national
Mm-hmm.
who is having that skill. So we are hiring this person out of Europe. So
Mhm.
they kind of get some approval from there.
Mhm.
So once it is done, that's all. That's that the document what ZAV.
Okay. Okay. And one follow-up question. Is it mandatory for employment visa?
I mean, just
ZAV?
to hasten your visa
Oh,
process.
okay.
is needed.
Okay. Okay.
And if you are applying for blue card as well, I think it's required. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
In my case, they
For
asked
blue
me to
card
provide
visa.
that document.
For so based on the checklist, so if you go to the
Yeah,
India
yeah.
Diplo Germany website, there is a checklist for the application that you're applying, and then it's there. But for my case, I was recommended just to take ZAV letter regardless of what type you're applying. So it's always best to have ZAV letters because it shortens the visa processing time.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
also in the VFS website, they have now mentioned that this letter is mandatory if you want to apply for a new visa, I think.
yeah, probably. I mean, considering the process earlier, this was not a part of the regular process. ZAV was introduced just to fasten the process. That's it. I mean, though you're in Germany or not, the ZAV approval will go. I mean, post the once the offer has been rolled out to you, you will definitely wait for 4 to 5 weeks just to get your work visa granted. So what they do is they just send out from the company's side so that the ZAV approval gets faster.
Yeah.
Then we apply if the company is applied, we can get some positive response and quicker response than expected.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
Any other question, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question was related to more on the tech side. So I was like, so do we need to prepare more DS algo side like in the depth, or is it something that we mostly deal with a kind of a backend and front end, right? So maybe related to framework or whatever the programming that I'm using and the cloud related. So that is a daily work, right? Everything. So is it necessary to prepare more on the depth on the algo side when we're looking for a jobs?
So to answer your question, Amal, that depends on your experience. Let's say they can't expect some good expertise in algorithms when they are hiring a 3-year or 4-year experienced guy. If you have some 5 years or 7 years of experience, they'll definitely expect some very good knowledge on whatever you do or whatever they have in their job description. Let's say they have 10 points and you should be very good at all those 10 points.
Yeah, so what I have experienced from a couple of interviews that I gave was, so once you are into a senior, you are looking for a senior position, they don't actually look into your algo skills and all that, but they look at the overall knowledge about a particular technology probably. So for example, if they're working in Python, then they might give you a home assignment to work on a particular task. And once you return that assignment, you have to go through the code and explain what you have done. So I think based on that, they judge you and your skill set, but not the algo specific tasks. So for example, there are nowadays a lot of websites like I think it's called HackerRank or something.
HackerRank.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have to write codes which are, algo specific and all that. But some companies do that, but not all of them. So I also went through a couple of interviews and some of them did ask me to complete those kind of challenges, which, you need some good algo expertise for that. But most of the companies I interviewed with had given me some home assignment. and I was given, say, for example, 1 week of time, and I was allowed to write the code in my own way, and I just had to explain it. And I think if you write it really well, then the algos and your in-depth knowledge there doesn't really matter. You have to solve the problem in a efficient way. That's what matters. Yeah.
So Anup, I would
So
like
just
to ask.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how is it?
Sorry,
Okay, carry
please,
on.
please go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to ask, how is it for SAP? Because Raghu is into SAP. So are the questions more scenario based, or again they give us tasks to finish in a week, or how is it? Do they give you scenarios to work on, and then they have the interview? How is it?
So before Raghu, you start, I just wanted to make sure that Amol's question is answered.
Yeah. After you.
Amol, is your question answered now? Or?
Yeah, so maybe I can talk after this like after this question.
Yeah, I think we can't take more questions now because it's just 6 more minutes. So maybe this is going to be the last question. And if you have questions,
Look,
then you can ask it in the Discord channel.
Cool,
look,
cool.
sorry
No
to
problem.
disturb. I have a very important question for which I don't see much of an answer on any of the websites.
Okay,
Because
then
I am a
just go ahead.
non-IT background. I am from non-IT background.
Mhm.
I am a DGM basically with Cognizant, and
Mhm.
I am looking for something into operations manager or product support, because it's all so we take care of the product support which are already there in the market. Basically, it is customer service domain, what you can say. So what is the scope for non-IT jobs? Because I see a lot of things happening, discussions going around IT jobs only. I have no clue how is the scope. Is it advisable to leave a good job in India and move to Germany?
And to answer your question, Deepak, I mean, did you find any jobs from your side for your skills? I mean, be it
Yeah,
any job.
yes, I am looking for jobs. There are a lot of e-commerce jobs. There are a lot of, but not anything specific the way the domains that I support. But those all are customer support only that I am seeing. So that is why I'm asking, how is the scope? Because they might get managers there in Germany also. Technical skills, which is that is something which is which you might not find in countries. So you are asking people from India to come and join there. But when it comes to managerial skills and all that, I think there must be a lot of people also. So my experience of 14, 15 years, will it really help me in getting a job there?
Maybe I can try to answer that. So you see, the main motto of most of these countries trying to get people from third world countries like India or any other countries is primarily for the technical skills that they have, right? Let's be honest there.
Yeah.
So yeah, your chances are good if you have a technical specific skill or you are skilled at something. But nevertheless, if you believe that you can work here and you can stay here with the management skills that you have, you never know you would find a job. But of course, to be very honest, the chances are very, very bleak. But that shouldn't stop you from trying. One challenge that you might see for these kind of roles is you may be required to speak, or you most likely you'll be required to speak German or have good German fluency. Because you might not be involved in much of technical work. You will be managing a team or a certain project where you definitely have to communicate with all your stakeholders in their local language. But nevertheless, you should still try, because you never know if there is one opportunity. All that you need is just one opportunity, right? You don't need 10 job offers. And if that's all you're looking for and they're looking for someone like you, it's the best match.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah.
Do you have more questions? Anyone?
Yeah, this is Gautam here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Gautam, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Hi everyone. So I'm pretty new to this group, and it's been just a week time that I've joined here. So basically, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. One is that I'm into IT infrastructure service management domain, where incident change problem. That is where I played a picture, and I just wanted to understand. At this point, I tried reaching out to the Chennai consulate, and they said that at this point, what do you say, visas are on hold, and I also tried booking the appointment, but however, I got a positive reply stating that the appointment has been confirmed. So just trying to understand the current situation, like how things going to be down the line for next 6 to 8 months. Should I just keep focus on improving my skills in the time period, or should I even wait with a positive approach down the line, or maybe next year or 2022? So just wanted to get your advice and be thoughtful on that.
Yeah. So let's join back. We will be dropped off in 3 seconds. Let's join back again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. So Gautam, I hope your question was complete now. Or
Yes. Yeah, that's complete.
so Pradyumna, do you want to answer this? Because I think it's mostly related to job seeker thing.
Yes, that is right. Job seeker visa is what I'm calling.
Yeah.
Hi Gautam. So welcome to the group.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
I've been watching your videos and Anup's and Raghu's videos. That's the one thing which made me to join this group actually.
So I mean, it's the Anoop's idea. So we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
just be part of the Discord group and helping others. Yeah, that's all.
I'm really happy to be here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautam. And so coming to a question, see, we are not sure when the JSV gonna open. So let's not depend on JSV for now. So let's start applying the jobs from India. And because from the last year, compared to job seekers, I see very good number of Indians who are coming to Germany by the employment visa.
Okay.
So staying in India doesn't stop you to get a job. All you need is the right skills and apply for the right job. That's all you need to get a job.
Okay.
And
So
one more to add, Gautam, since you're from a non-technical background, I would definitely recommend you should have some very good German proficiency as well.
Okay. Oh, okay. So my particular domain doesn't require much interaction with the clients, but however we work on the ticketing part, etc., and that's been like email conversations that we deal with. But does it really require a B1 level, or like at least A1 level would be able to make me run the job?
Yeah, I mean, keeping aside the levels, are you able to speak and communicate? So that's the primary thing. Are you able to understand what they speak?
Okay.
And certifications all comes next. So were you able to communicate and understand? So that's the basic criteria what they need. And it's A2, B1, B. I mean, name it whatever you want, but you would have some good understanding on what they say. That's all they expect initially, probably. And some companies here who are the German-based companies, they'll definitely give time for you, or they have their own training institutes, training placement, so they can provide you the training as well.
Okay. Sounds good. And I also went through a few job portals as we were suggesting for other folks as well. So I see enormous job opportunities for my domain, which I'm going right now. So taking into a positive approach, I just wanted to ensure that the point what you said about the language was pretty unfortunate one that I wasn't expecting actually, because I thought even since into the IT field, we would be able to manage without the language, at least like a basic level of communication level if you learn it. But yeah, that was a good point that I got it from you. So basically, apart from this, I was also I was wanting to know about the current situation and how to proceed in this timeline until I got my next appointment in 1 year of time. So what are the things that I can focus on and keep myself prepared That's it.
First and foremost is the language, Gautam, what I can say.
Okay.
But that will not only help in your job, but also in your daily life as well.
Mhm.
And second thing is upskill yourself. If you have some skills that you work, I mean, that you're really working on, or you expect some good jobs with your skills here in Germany, try to upskill and prepare one good resume and cover letter
Okay.
and start applying for the jobs once you are, I mean, I'm not sure whether you have some good German language skills, but start learning it and try to try to keep updating the resume. Let's say if you have completed A1, just put it as A1. If you completed A2, just update it.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that shows that you are inclined towards learning German, and
Mhm.
that might drag the attention of your resume.
Okay. So the one last thing, sorry, not I don't want to take much of the other's time as well. So one last question is that, as you said that we can start applying for the job at this point, but I don't have any visa at this point, or like I just have a positive approach to be in German. But how does that recruiter know, and how does my profile get shortlisted, or kind of what do you say? How it's going to be fruitful to me at this point?
So it's very common to get rejected irrespective from where you apply, because as in you should be very, as said earlier, you should have some unique selling point when, let's say, for one job opening, let's say he gets some 100 resumes, 100 resumes, and your resume has to beat initially the application tracking system, and then post that it reaches the HR recruiter or hiring manager, and they go through your profile and they should feel that you are the right fit in to the job opening, and probably then you'll get the call. And if your resume is shortlisted, and that's 30 or 40% of your interview process is done.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so, but by then the visas aren't going to be open down the line. So is that okay? Or
No, it's completely fine. Probably, see, if you don't know what might happen in the next month, so because India might be in a good stage in next month or in a couple of months, and probably, let's say if you start applying for the job right now, and it might take some time as well for you to get a job, probably 1 month or 2 months. And by the time everything gets cleared up, and you can apply for the visa as well.
okay, sure.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry. Okay, fine.
Gautam, I think we are already over time, so we can take
Sorry,
one more
sorry,
last
yeah.
question from someone else if they have.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks enough. Thanks, Pradyumna. It
Yeah.
helps me a lot.
You're welcome, Gautam.
You can
So
feel free to ask some questions in the Discord channel. Yeah.
of course. So
Sure,
all of you
yeah.
can ask your questions in Discord channel. That's not a problem. But here we have to take up a question from someone else as well. So Ishan, you are the last guy now. You can ask your question.
Hello, guys, and thank you. I just wanted to know if anybody can please share a sample of this ZAV letter, whatever was mentioned earlier in the call, because I was curious and I have no idea what exactly is this. I know what exactly is this, but how does it look like? So I wanted to compare it with my document, because fortunately I have a positive response as well as an employment contract already. So if I do not have the ZAV, then I can actually ask them for this particular document.
It's not a template actually, Ishan. I mean, I cannot say it's a template. It has very specific information related to that individual salary or skill or that. So it may be very difficult to find a template. My best shot would be, it's a document that I'm sure your employer or the Agentur for Arbeit knows. So they should be able to give one. So there's nothing, I don't think is something you have to validate and really see if this is really the ZAV letter. But I can give you some hints. I can give you some hints. I can check my ZAV. I have one. I can give you some hints from there. I can send you a one-to-one message.
Definitely, that would be very helpful, Raghu. Thank you so much. I mean, I mean, you can take out your salary structure and personal details, and maybe some part of it, a little small screenshot, which could, because I have already few documents, but I just wanted to compare to, I have it already or not. So that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't say ZAV. That's the funny
Okay.
thing about it. It doesn't say that it is
Okay.
ZAV or anything.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's where I think you may have that confusion. But yeah, just I will send you a DM and
Sure.
then we can connect.
Sure. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, then thank you, Ishan, and thank you all for joining the call today. And yeah, we can continue asking your questions in the Discord channel if you have further questions. And thank you, Raghu and Pradyumna, for answering these questions as well. Okay, then
Sure,
have
no
a great
problem.
weekend. And I hope it's
Thank
a
you.
holiday in India
Thank you,
tomorrow
everyone.
or not?
Yes, it's holiday in Germany, probably not in India, I believe.
Not in India. Okay.
I-
Okay. Then
Everyone have a great weekend.
yeah, have a great weekend
Thank you.
and have a great weekday as well on Monday.
Thank you. And you
Bye.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
for valuable information. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, no